Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this
Does this theme song ever get old?
No, never.
I was actually trying to sing it, but
I mean, you just go for it. I feel like
my throat's not in the best.
All right, well, maybe
One
another
day we'll
week we'll
sing
go
it.
for it. Well, welcome AfterBuzzers to another Pretty Little Liars after show. We're of course streaming live on YouTube tonight, and you can always find us on YouTube at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, and you can also find us on SoundCloud and iTunes. Tweet us all your theories using the hashtag ABTVPLL. And there's a lot of theories, I feel like, from tonight's episode. It's crazy. We're, of course, episode 19 of season 5, Out Damn Spot. And I'm Stephanie Wenger, and you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Wenger.
Hi guys, I'm Kristin Strange. You can find me on Twitter at Kristin Strange.
Hey guys, I'm Heather Joy Smith, and you can find me on Twitter at Heather Joy Smith.
And I'm Hannah Prichard, and you can tweet at me at the Hotshot Dude.
I like that yours is like a creative
Yes.
twitch.
Did anybody see Cody's reaction last week when I said it at the beginning? He was like,
Wow, interesting.
cracked me up.
Yes, amazing. And that is a perfect segue into, of course, our guest last week, Cody Christian, and he had a huge storyline tonight. Mike, his character, it's going dark for him.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to say that after he came here, he did like a whole bunch of press with like different magazine outlets, and he did one with Us Weekly, and it was like, they said, what's the craziest fan theory that you've heard? And he said mine.
Stop it.
Get out.
And then he goes, fans are crazy. And I was like, thanks, Cody.
It's amazing. I mean, like,
He
you're
said,
all-
he was like, yeah, I heard that there's like generational stuff, and you know, it was our dad, and then it was Aria, and then they passed it. I was like, I told you that.
That's so funny, dude.
You know, he
I
like
love
walked
it.
into that interview the next day and was like, I know the one I'm gonna say.
I got it.
Did you feel like a minor celebrity after you saw
A
that?
little bit. I was like, oh my god, so many people know my theory now.
I feel like the generational thing has been something we've all talked about. I know it's been tweeted at me
Yeah.
before, but you deserve credit.
But like I
For sure.
put it in his ear.
I know.
literally.
I agree with you entirely. But let's talk about this storyline with Mike tonight. So we see Aria starting to figure out that like he's doing something because he like kind of goes into the blood drive and is doing something sneakily. And I don't think we totally saw what he was doing with the blood at that time.
No.
We just saw him go into the blood
Being
drive.
sketchy.
Being sketchy. And what did you think? Did you think that he was gonna actually take the blood? Is that where that was going? Or
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
What?
I didn't see him get it. I didn't see him grab it. I was like, oh, he didn't get it. Whatever.
When they did it and they made that joke about the cookies, I was like, she's gonna think that he was grabbing those cookies because the candy and everything. I was like, we're gonna go back to that.
yeah, I wasn't sure what he was after there. I wasn't sure it was actually vials of blood, and then I saw Twitter explode about that, so I knew that that's where it was going.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The candy seemed to be his term of currency, so maybe he needed more sweet sugar. Whoever he does, he feeds us
fair
sugar.
enough. I like all theories are accepted here.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just felt like it was a strange thing to have him go after blood. It felt like a really dark turn for the character. Because we've seen him go darker in past weeks, but this felt like another level.
Well, it just showed that he knows, you know what I mean? He knows whoever is doing these things to the girls or who is A or whatnot, and he's willingly helping them. Like, as we saw at the end with them dropping the blood on the clothes, he's helping his sister be framed, which blew my mind.
Well, maybe he's not framing her. We didn't see whose blood it came out of.
But they have 3 vials of blood in each of the girls, so
Aside from Emily's.
Yeah.
yeah. So he
Convenience.
love this panel, guys. I don't know. felt like there was something that, like, imagine doing that to your own sibling family. Like, that takes it to a level that, because obviously we saw it was Hannah's blood tonight being on the clothes, but there's another reason why Aria's blood is not going to sit there unused.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Do you guys think what do you think they're going to do with Aria's blood, or do you have any?
I feel like there was so much, like, clothing and different things that they had in those plastic bags that they're just going to scatter everyone's little blood samples on everything and just...
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
They're going to become suspect
Exactly.
number one
Yep.
of all the suspects in Rosewood. I feel like they are now, like, prime territory to be taken to jail with Allie.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, it looked like A or whoever, always in the black hoodie, is collecting multiple pieces of evidence because they showed the tape, with her and Caleb playing in the background while they were putting the blood on the clothing. So clearly...
He's planning something big.
Exactly. And taking them all down.
I mean, I don't know. I just, like, obviously something big is going to happen, but my big curiosity and the question we didn't have answered tonight is why Mike is doing this. Is he that attached to Mona and Allie that, like, he's putting them before his sister? Like, I just can't imagine how he got pushed so far into the middle of this.
And it's like Aria will do anything to protect her brother, and it's like he's possibly going against them. I can't imagine doing that to I don't know.
I wonder if somebody's, like, blackmailing him, like, on that side. Because, yeah, why would you go so far away from your family and do something so horrific that could possibly send your sister to jail for the rest of her life? I mean, that's just crazy to me to even fathom.
Especially when he doesn't have motive to hurt Aria. It's not like she's been a terrible sister or, like, done anything awful.
But maybe he doesn't realize, maybe he's being manipulated by someone and doesn't realize what he's doing is actually hurting them. Maybe he thinks he's helping in some capacity.
The only other thought that I had was that Aria, in some capacities, because she's with Ezra, has torn their family apart, or you could argue that. And so maybe it's some sort of revenge for that. But I feel like that's a large revenge. Like, the punishment doesn't fit the crime necessarily. So let's talk about also the scene in the bar with him and handing over the blood, and then we see Cyrus confront the girls about following him. And I thought that was interesting because it felt like there was some bigger story there, that why was he so angry at them for following the girls or following him. It felt strange to me. I don't know.
Well, and clearly this guy didn't care that the girls knew who he was, which most people who are involved with A do care. They always, have a hood on or a red coat or a wig or a mask, and this guy confronted them. So it makes me wonder what alliance he has, and if it is with somebody working against them, or I don't know. To me, that was just weird enough that he was so quick to allow them to see who he was.
I agree with that.
He, like, went to them.
Yeah. I mean, it was almost like I, for a second, thought that he was going to plow them down on his motorcycle. Like, it looked like he was going to injure them. And
I know, they weren't running very fast, though.
No.
They were like,
looking cute running. It's fine. Cute running's the way to go. Don't worry.
Fast walk.
I mean, it was they look like, oh, there's a motorcycle come. So there was a moment where I was like, is he going to, like, really hit them, or is he going to confront them? And obviously we saw that he confronted them. Do you think that this is the end of Cyrus? Or are we going to see more?
no, it can't be the end. I need more answers.
Yeah, and is he Hank Mahoney, or is, like, somebody else Hank Mahoney? Is he working for Hank Mahoney?
So we get this call from the women's correctional facility, right?
Okay, why is she not a juvie? That's my biggest question. Why is she not a juvie?
That's a
She's
great
a minor.
question.
Why is she at the women's correctional facility?
I'm assuming that there's multiple divisions to
Maybe.
it. I mean, that's, like, in my Pretty Little Liars head, the way I worked it out. But I agree, in real life.
Because I'm, like,
probably
scared for her now if she's in women's jail.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. She's, like, going to be someone's wife.
She's probably making connections.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn it. You know she is.
So true.
Yeah. I don't know. It was, like, that's strange, but... So was it a guy's voice? Could we tell?
No, it was Allie's voice.
Yeah, I could
Allie's
tell it was
voice.
a girl.
It was Allie's voice. Okay.
I think it was Allie's.
Yeah.
And so why is she... Obviously, it's not Hank Mahoney if it's a girl's voice.
Yeah.
So why is she trying to pretend to be that then.
She was quickly sending a clue, I thought, to Mike. Like, contact Hank Mahoney, or Hank Mahoney was code for something. So instead of actually having to have a conversation that would be, like, documented, I guess, because can you record those conversations? She, like, quickly just said the name.
Hank Mahoney. And is Hank Mahoney, like, Cyrus's?
I don't think that it's Cyrus.
No.
I think we know Allie has a connection with Cyrus because he was going to take the fall when she was going to say that she was kidnapped, whatever. But we don't know, like, what I want to know, Mike. Like, so obviously Mike is connected to Allie because he's connected to Cyrus. So I made that connection. But
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. It's one of those things where I worry that Mike is getting into something way too deep. Like,
I know, he's just a kid.
Yeah, I always feel like there's like layers to like whoever's coming after them. So there's always like the Mike character who's like kind of like the lower, like, you know, guy that they force to go do everything. Then there's someone above them, and then above them.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like there's like all these layers.
That's a great point.
feel like even Cyrus, I feel like there's still multiple levels like above him, telling him to go do things.
And we saw that Mike has access to a bank account of
I was
$18
just about to bring that up. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
what
jumping
on
again.
earth?
No, I think that's so where is that money coming from? That is my biggest note. I
Well,
feel.
it has big funding, clearly.
Well, and what's he getting the money out for? Did I miss that? Did they ever clarify what he
think
was
he
getting the money out for?
Gave it to Cyrus, didn't he?
Did he?
The blood was in those things.
Oh,
Right.
that was in the
Or
little
that's what they thought.
Yeah.
Because
but
we
what
saw
was the
him
money
pull
for?
it out of his little protein shake.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
But yeah, I don't know what the money was for. Unless that was in there like, oh, here's blood and money.
That's a strange. Yeah, I wasn't sure why it was $400. Am I correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed really bizarre unless like $100 goes. I guess it's 3 vials of blood though, so it wouldn't be $100 with each. I have no idea. Like if there's a certain amount of money that goes with each vial, how that is all playing out, and where he took the vials to get them to. I have a lot of questions about kind of the path of these vials tonight because it all seemed to move very quickly from one hand to the next.
But clearly he has enough money to pay for Hannah to go to college if she would like to.
Good point.
That was lovely. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. That's a great transition, though, to Hannah and her college storyline, which I think is a super relatable one of, like, financial aid and figuring out your future, and sometimes money does come into play at that point. And her mom obviously does not want her to contact her dad at all, and Hannah goes behind her back and reaches out to her dad. I actually thought that was a really tragic scene where
I can't even imagine. That's just so sad.
I did, but I would like to say that she only has to put her mother on her financial aid application because her parents are divorced.
It's true.
That she should run that anyways, and then she would have gotten financial aid. But if her dad's the reason she's not getting it, like, why is he gonna be such an ass and not pay for it? This is your daughter. I don't care if you made a commitment to your wife's daughter. She has a father too somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like he drew his line in the sand a while ago. Like that dinner forever ago that they had where Hannah got introduced to her sister and future mother-in-law or whatnot. And he clearly showed where his alliance was and who he was more concerned about supporting, because she felt like an alien in that family then. That it didn't shock me that he acted that way. Like, still was very sad, but I was like, are you shocked by that, Hannah? Like, he made you feel that way prior, you know? And at first, when she was talking to her mom about it, I was like, I feel like her mom should be more supportive, you know, about her going to talk to her dad because it's the best thing for Hannah. But then when her dad acted that way, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Her mom was probably looking out for her.
I was going to say protecting her in some way. Like, even though it felt like a selfish move to not go to your dad, like, I don't want to have a relationship with him, thus, like, you shouldn't go. In actuality, it was definitely to protect her.
It seemed like he seems like he cares about her. It's not like he's not. I don't know. I just don't understand his reasoning.
Or, like, fake cares about her.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly. I don't really feel like he really cares about her.
I don't know. I felt like he wanted to, but that was heartbreaking for me to watch for her. But at least, hopefully, Pastor Ted comes back and can be like her dad, and maybe the church will give her a scholarship. And
She's gonna win that pageant.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, pageant. What do we think about Hannah? Like, I would not, with everything that Hannah's been through, put her as like the pageant girl out of the 4 of them. So
I'm just
looks
waiting
like she's going for it,
for
though.
the pageant to start, and then like some big A thing to just crash it down.
yeah.
Yep, because I did not trust that little church lady, Paula or whatever her name is.
She was so.
No.
She was like a nasty lady at
Yeah.
church.
Right?
Like she's like the reason people don't go to church.
Yes.
And her being the one to hand out that flyer, immediately I was like, A. A's involved somehow.
I also worry I was going to get into this in predictions, but that Caleb is going to, because that is so not Caleb's world to be in like
The pageant.
in the
thing.
pageant, and like
It'll be good for
that's
him.
going to be causing like a major split. But
He's going to be doing some like secret ops behind the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, amazing. I would love to see. Like, can we do like an episode of like Spy at the pageant? Like that feels like it would be a great episode. I would love that. But I don't know. I just felt like that was something that Hannah. It feels like a really strange move to me, and it's not going to end well, I feel like, for her.
It's going to end up being a miscongeniality kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we get a special? Geniality, Pretty Little Liars.
I did love with Hannah's mom though. She came clean about sleeping with Jason to Pastor Ted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally. Like everybody is finally getting it. If you say it up front, then it's not as bad.
But do we really? I mean, I kind of feel like her reaction to whatever he said, I feel like wasn't very positive, and maybe he's rethinking this whole like.
Well, I mean,
engagement.
as he should, because his future fiance just slept with someone that could be her son. But I mean, I think he'll come around.
Yeah.
I hope so. I like him.
Very
Yeah.
pastorally of him.
I know, yeah. Forgiveness, Pastor Ted. God forgives. You should too.
Lesson of the night. It was one, I don't know what to think about that, because I want them to get back together, but it definitely left a question mark. Like, because we just see her have that phone call at the end of the episode, and it's not like she's all forgiven. There's definitely still something there as to what will they reunite? Will, she move on? I still don't think Jason's out of the picture.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he has either. But seeing her tonight, I want her to be with Ted again. Before I was kind of like, maybe I wanted to see her with Jason, because like that would be scandalous and lovely. But I want to see her with Ted. Like, I think she'd be happy with Ted. I don't think she needs any more drama in her life. She needs like someone stable who can be there and support her and like be good to her. And
I think Ted's a partner for her.
exactly.
Yeah.
Where Jason's like,
Sex.
Yes.
yeah, something more fun and interesting. So I could see her going on both paths, but they're two distinct paths.
Yeah.
I just want it for Hannah really bad. For her to like, her mom to be settled down with Ted. That whole Jason thing. Hannah's already gone through too much. I mean, that would just be insane.
My favorite tweet, I think, that I received this week was a question of, could Hannah's mother ever be with Ezra? And I was just like, crazy, like outside. I like the outside the box like theories. I think they're so weird and fun, but I don't know. I thought it was really sweet that Hannah went to Ezra with kind of her problems with her father, and he was so supportive of her.
And he was like, I know he didn't think that you could do it, but I was your teacher and I always knew you could. And it was like, oh, so sweet.
You know, though, it drove me crazy this whole episode, because every scene, though, that Ezra had, which I guess is sweet and endearing, but was with all of Aria's friends, but never with Aria. And, like, he was a great support system for them.
They're on a break.
I know, but it drove me crazy. Like, it was sweet, and at least we got to see Ezra then a lot, because it was through the other girls, but it just bummed me out.
I think it's interesting that Aria hasn't said anything like, oh, me and Ezra are broken up, or they're broken up, right? It's definitely a breakup.
Well, she
on a break.
Yeah, she like alluded to it with who was she talking to outside the diner that she didn't know what was going on between them.
Yeah.
Emily?
Was it Emily?
I think it was Emily.
Okay, yeah. So she like alluded to it.
I also thought it was interesting that she wasn't sharing that she got into college with him.
Yeah.
And he looked really surprised by that.
That's true. Too surprised?
A great question. I don't know. He looked really surprised, but is that too surprised?
Did he miss a college?
Yeah.
Did I forget?
And I think also it's probably that realization that she could really move away.
Yeah.
Like if he's in love with her as he claims to be.
I think he did the right thing though, letting her go.
Oh, I do too.
I think that was. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's not his choice to make whether or not she moves on with her life or does whatever. But I don't know. I think that she wasn't going to see it. She wasn't going to see. Oh, I need to experience college by myself out of this relationship. But
And what do we think about Andrew and Aria?
oh, we want him to get with someone.
We love him.
Oh, he's so cute.
Okay, so this was I'll get into the actual relationship portion in a second, but when he first appeared on screen, I don't think, have we met Andrew before?
Yes.
We've met
I
him before,
remember.
but he just like pops up. Like he's popped up like 4 times for like 2 episodes, and then he's gone. Remember, he was like, he was giving Spencer pills.
That's right. Okay.
And weren't they on that, was it a debate team? Weren't they
Yeah,
on
something like
together?
that. Yeah,
And they were like competitive
he's like a
academically.
smarty pants.
But he appears 10 years older than Aria.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that is like, you're so attractive, but what a like interesting casting choice to be
A high schooler?
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
so different in age. It's crazy. But I do kind of want to see them together. I feel like it would be interesting to have her be with like the smart guy who allegedly has it all together and seemed to be protecting her
Yeah, exactly.
too.
Yeah.
Like he stuck around when the girls went into that, I guess, bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I'm concerned that he just wants to get some because we've seen him try to get with a lot of people. So
I hope that's not the case.
I feel like
don't
he was genuinely concerned about
Yeah.
them. I mean, he went and got his baseball bat.
that's true. That was sweet.
I don't trust anyone. And what is a smart kid who's only concerned about school doing with a baseball
True.
bat in his car?
He's a baseball.
Yeah, he was a
Oh,
baseball
yeah,
player.
batting
He had batting
practice.
practice.
I forget. Scratch
a
that.
man-
I didn't say that.
He's a man of many talents.
But I do want to laugh about how when he was like introduced and she was cheating on him. I thought it was so funny when he was like, "I saw you cheating on me." When I was like, dude, he was in front of her in class. How did he see behind him and see that she was cheating? I was like,
don't
they
know.
should have put them next to each other.
I feel
Yeah.
like you might like look around like during an exam, be thinking, I don't know, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the
I
doubt.
thought that was so funny. I was like, no, he doesn't have eyes.
I
in the
kind
back
of
his
felt
head.
like he was doing it. Like, Aria, you can cheat off of me.
Yeah, he was like
Let me
holding it
just
like
show you.
this.
Yeah,
In
maybe
case
that's
did you miss that? Like,
maybe that's the excuse though for being able to talk to her. Like
Maybe.
open the door to, because if you allow her to cheat and then you're like, but you don't want to be caught, and in some ways that was almost a threat.
that's like
Yes.
blackmail. Yeah.
It was like, oh, I can turn you in for this, or we can spend time together.
To be fair though, it was kind of blackmail for her own good because she needs help.
Totally.
Okay, so maybe blackmail is not the right term.
No, that's the right term. It's just like blackmail to benefit you.
Yeah.
Like if someone was like, Kristin, you're super out of shape and you're gonna die, and then they were like, if you don't come to the gym with me, then I'm gonna take all your food away. Then I'll go. Like I don't know, that's like the same thing. That's like the only thing I can think of.
It's amazing. Love that comparison. It's the best. But let us know what you're thinking about Andrew and Aria and everything else that happened on tonight's episode. Mike and Cody, Christian, all of these things. You can always tweet at us at ABTVPLL or go on YouTube and iTunes, rate, comment. We read it all and love all of your theories because, as we say every week, we come in here immediately after watching the show, and so it's always fun to hear what you guys are thinking. So let's jump into, I think, one of the more interesting storylines of the night. Talia's surprise marriage.
Yikes.
That sucks.
That sucks. I feel so bad for Emily because she was finally just like,
Yeah.
you know, kind of opening up herself to this new relationship, and to have something like that just.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like they're kind of separated. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's okay to date someone who's still married but separated. But it seemed like he knew that she was going after girls. So it's not like she was like cheating. I mean, she is kind of, but it's not like it seemed like she was saying her husband knew that she was pursuing her other interests, women.
I don't believe her and trust her at all. Okay. But, because I was reading somebody, last week I was like, I kind of dig it, but I wish they wouldn't have kissed because they took it too far. And now, it's actually because I read somebody's comment, and I think it was on the YouTube video, and they had said that they had looked it up online.
She's only in 21 episodes.
Yes. So she has a short term here on the show. So I think she's in the dark side somehow, or you know, Emily is going to push her away and then something's going to happen and, you know, whatnot. But I don't trust whatever she is selling. Oh, and this crazy theory popped into my head with it because I was letting my mind just go crazy about it. But what if she has some sort of relationship history with Allie and is dating Emily only in like a revenge sense towards Allie? You know what I mean?
Oh my.
Wow.
Yikes.
Bold prediction or theory. Wow. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not sold on it, but it crossed my mind.
I mean,
That would be huge.
I mean,
Wow.
that would be crazy, but something that could happen on Pretty Little Liars. Like,
Because
it's not out of
Allie-
the realm.
I feel like Allie has dated like everybody they've dated. We
Yeah,
always find
she
out that
has.
she's been
It's
with
like,
Yeah.
get someone new.
right.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be a crazy thought.
Right?
Yeah.
To be fair, though, when I was in high school, me and all my friends dated like all the same people.
We did too.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, here's your boyfriend 2 months ago, is mine now.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, did you live in Rosewood?
Sometimes I feel like I might have.
Man, I feel like everyone should be getting out of Rosewood at this
I know.
point.
Yeah.
There's so
Do
much.
independent study in France or something.
I know.
Seriously.
Get out. It's crazy to me that this is what we're going at. Do you think, though, Talia and Emily, to go back to that, so is her husband involved in the A situation?
I don't know if I believe that there like even fully is a existing current husband.
But she was talking about that he's her best friend.
Yeah, but I don't buy anything that she says.
So
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
shocker, Talia. Everyone says that about their husband.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's not around anymore either.
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season, we talked about that all these characters are kind of on a scale from black to white and that most of them lie in the gray zone. So are we putting Talia now towards the negative?
I have her right in
Side.
the middle in my mind. She's
Yeah.
like, she's super gray. That's
She's
just
in the
all.
negative
Super
in mine.
gray. Yep.
And because I thought, okay, I have two more things about Talia. I'm sorry.
No, go
But
for it. I like it.
that when they were in the woods or by the lake or whatnot, and they were asking questions or whatnot, of course Talia's question was like, "What's your biggest fear?" And I was like, "That's because you're trying to find that out. So
Yeah.
use that against her."
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your second thing? Sorry, I had, or do you not?
Oh no, I do. I forgot for a second. I was like, "What is my second thing?" That if she does have an existing husband who is her best friend, it may be somebody that they already know.
Oh, what if it was like Garrett or something?
Ooh, also we saw.
But like then she probably would have said that he was dead. I don't know.
Oh, true statement.
Also, I wonder, we saw Spencer briefly message Melissa, I believe it was, about
Ren's Oxford.
Ren's. Could Ren?
I loved
Oh.
Ren.
She said
Be
his
the
name was
husband?
Eric.
Oh.
I must have missed that.
Yeah,
Oh.
me too.
Okay.
She did
must
say
have
his
said-
name was Eric. She said me and
Really?
Eric.
Okay, well, I liked my Ren theory for a
Yes.
second.
But like maybe he was like going by a different name, or
Yeah.
like you never know who's like changing their name
I do
to Hank Maloney or whatever.
I appreciate that Emily seems to be protecting herself a bit, though. She doesn't like outright
Yeah.
spill all the secrets day one.
Yep.
Which because I feel like the girls are always guilty of that. Like, oh, it's totally fine. We met yesterday. Let me tell you all my deepest, darkest things. It's not.
No.
So I appreciated that she's trying to protect herself in some capacity. I just feel like Talia's going to keep digging, though.
Yeah.
Be interesting. And let's jump into Spencer and Johnny.
Oh, they're so cute.
I mean, I'm glad everyone else. I'm still neutral.
Now that Toby is like a hard ass, I totally
Yeah.
want Spencer and Johnny. And she seems smitten with him and Giddy, and she gets to let loose a little bit and be not so like Spencery, like buttoned up, and it's nice.
I'm completely split on this relationship. In some ways, I think it's great that he's like opening her up to new experiences, and she seems so thrilled. Like when she was painting with him, like it was the happiest we've seen Spencer in years.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is like he's encouraging her to break the law. And so,
But you gotta break the law every once in a while.
do you?
She's already up for murder.
Okay, maybe Spencer doesn't need to.
I don't know. I just felt like there's like so many goods and bads to this relationship or relationship to be, that I just wasn't sure where I lie with it.
I've never been like 100% on Toby. Like,
me neither.
I just have this thing where I just cannot jump fully on board with him. So like going back to your grayscale, I mean, he's going, I feel, more now to the negative side.
Yeah.
And I feel like Spencer knows that. And so here she has this refreshing guy, you know, she's going to obviously take a little bit of advantage of it. And
yeah.
As she should.
Yeah, I love him.
I mean, I think he is opening her up to a new world because she's been so like, she's with the police officer and
she's a Hastings.
And there's like a lot of pressure in her life and he's trying to relieve some of that pressure. So I appreciate him in that sense. I just wish I trusted him more.
I think I'm just like starting to ship Johnny. Johnny alone. Like just Johnny.
The whole show about
let's just see more Johnny.
Just Johnny. But I thought it was hilarious how when she's yelling about how she already is in trouble with the law and like with murder and stuff like that, how that wasn't something that he was like, wait, what? You made me a murderer? Instead it was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe, I had no idea. She just told you that she was convicted for murder.
Yeah. There was just no reaction there. It was just like,
interesting.
That happens.
Maybe he already knew.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it.
How could he not, though?
That's true. It was in the papers.
It just made me wonder, what are his secrets? Maybe has a history as well.
He probably does.
Maybe, okay, so obviously it's been in the newspaper. Everybody in Rosewood knows about it. Maybe he was like, gave the reaction like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry. Because he didn't want to make her feel bad. Like, he knew, like, oh, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's got to know.
I mean,
maybe.
But wouldn't you have questions at the very least? Like, oh, you were let off. I saw that in the paper. Let me ask you a few things about that, because that seems like something that if you're going to potentially be in a relationship with this person, you
would want to know if they're going to stab you in your
That's the first
sleep.
thing I ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you
been convicted of murder?
Yeah.
Date number 1. That's before I ask you anything about yourself.
Let me take these questions.
And it's crazy to me. And also, is this going to swing her back into the police department for questioning? We know that police department's not very effective.
And they don't like her very much recently.
Yeah.
They seemed like they don't like them at all. They're like, nah, we don't like you right now. You're kind of a suspect because you're being sketchy, which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of secrets right now. I mean, and it's going to be interesting to see, to circle back to the beginning of what we were talking about. Will Aria knows that her brother's up to no good at this point. Is Aria going to protect her brother, or continue to protect her brother, or go back around and actually
I think she'll continue to protect her brother. Because I have a little brother, and if he was doing sketchy stuff like this, like, no matter what, I would protect him. If I was like, I think you're probably doing drugs, or like maybe you're murdering someone, I would protect him. I would. I would protect him, and I think that she's the same way.
I think she'll protect him till she realizes, or till she thinks her own safety is at risk.
Yeah.
But now it is, though, isn't it? Because she knows he took the blood samples. I mean, what else? Who else could have? They saw him buy it. Immediately after he met that guy, they got the text with the blood samples. Like, all signs point to Mike. You know what I mean?
I think she'll protect him till the end. I think she'll go down for him.
Oh, see, I
don't think she'll go down for him. Yeah.
I don't either.
I think, she's going to need confirmation. She's not going to act on this idea that it could be him because everybody's been framed in this town.
But, also because I don't think that Mike is doing this out of, like, I don't think that his intentions are, like, to hurt people. I think that there's something else going on, and I think that that's why Aria will do whatever it is to protect him, because I don't think that he's like, you guys are awful, I hate you, let me just do all this to frame you. I don't think he really knows what's going on.
I do agree with that. But I don't know if that's because I agree with that because of the way Cody, like, stuck up for his character, or if I agree with that because I actually do.
Yeah, I mean, Cody was pretty gung-ho on the fact that
Mike's good.
Mike is good. So that makes me question everything, because obviously he knows further into the season
but
what
he might
happens.
not know if he is bad yet.
Yeah, because that's true. They don't know, I guess, until they see the script where their character's going.
And I don't think that they're that far ahead filming-wise as to what we're watching. like
interesting.
maybe
Yeah,
like 4 weeks.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready for some news and gossip? We have some on Cody.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it that he stole my
AfterBuzz
prediction?
TV News.
I wish it was that he
I'm gonna
stole.
tweet him and be like, dude,
You
you should have given me credit for that prediction and not called me crazy
He
after.
seemed really shocked by all of our predictions last week. It was amazing. That being said,
He is a
let's
character.
jump into that. Cody Christian has a new role on Teen Wolf. I don't think he'll
Does he?
be. Yeah, he will not be leaving Pretty Little Liars from everything I read today, but he will be playing Theo, a lone wolf who is drawn into the spooky California town in search of a pack. He's described as athletic and charming, which of course Cody is. And while it may appear that the young adult is new in town, his past might suggest otherwise.
Oh,
we
sketchy
really-
again.
I'll be really happy to know that he was referred to as an adult.
Man, that was a big point for him last week.
You
so-
called me a man.
Yeah. So
Oh, he was so cute.
adorable, and we were so glad to have him in the studio and would love to have him back to discuss more about his
know.
character. But I thought that was great news. That
Yeah,
to
I'm
get
glad
a new,
that he's getting
more
stuff.
roles, and that's so exciting.
I could totally see him being like a teen heartthrob.
Oh, I think he may already
I think he
be.
already, he's already on the track to be a teen heartthrob, but I could see him.
I feel like girls are already all about
Yes.
Cody Christian.
Someone
Yeah.
commented on our YouTube and was like, I switched from Team Jason to Team Cody.
Oh, that's really cute. Also, Shay Mitchell is doing a fun thing starting next week. She has a YouTube show called Get Roped In, and it's a dating show that will be live on Twitter. And they're pairing YouTube stars with fans, and like it's gonna have to do with I guess little like games and like tests of like romance, and that you can see your favorite YouTube stars, and she I believe is hosting it.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it'll
I
be
love it.
like I like when people like do different things and stretch out. And also in the interview, she talked about that her kind of relationship with Talia on the show, or Emily's relationship with Talia on the show, and how she loves working with Lindsay Shaw, who of course played Paige, but that she kind of is glad to see her try something different. And she likes that everybody has different ships, that like some people like her with Talia, some people like her with Paige, and others are big fans of her with Allison. And she was like, I think that leaves a lot of opportunity to explore the character. And then of course everyone's wondering who A is, and I believe all the guy characters on the show, or all the guy actors on the show, seem to be saying that they know who A is, but none of the girls will reveal it. So
One of them.
The girls have all said that they know who A is except for Lucy Hale.
So, and Lucy Hale, there's so many theories about her, of course, her character Aria being A, that it makes me so curious. Is that what it's going to end up being?
But also I think she said that it's because everyone knows she has a big mouth and couldn't keep it a secret.
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I did read this one theory about how maybe it's Hannah, and there was multiple reasons for why maybe it would be. But one of the big ones was when in the intro, when they're all like, oh, you can keep a secret if one of them is dead, and then like they all like kind of look over to her, and she kind of like, you know, they all look at her, and then she's just kind of like,
But see, I always thought that song went back to the twin thing.
I don't know.
You know, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. I mean, twins. Hello.
Yeah, no, I agree. This show, though, it always I don't know if Aria's, it would be interesting if it was Aria, but it does always remind me of Gossip Girl, and how, like, it ended up being Dan and, like, this main character on the show.
Yeah.
So, in some ways, I want this to be, like, some person you never think of, and in other ways, it would be so fun if it was, like, the most, like, Aria was, I think, in the first scene of the pilot, if I recall.
Yeah.
And, like, to have her be it, and you can go back and track all of this and see where it was, would be
crazy.
So crazy,
The
right?
next time we have a hiatus, I'm going to go back and start from the beginning
Yeah.
and see, like, knowing what I know now, maybe I can put something together.
Sometimes I wonder, though, if the writers even know yet who A is.
I know.
I know. I mean, at this point, I think they all do.
I've read that if you go back, all the signs are there. So
Really?
yeah, so like if you go back to season 1, you're gonna be able to see it from the very beginning.
I mean, I'll go back just to watch
Yeah.
Aria and Ezra's hot makeup.
I know.
scene.
Oh, yeah.
We're all, I feel like, team
Ezra.
We love them.
Amazing.
Well,
All
I know
right.
Johnny. Okay.
So let's jump into some quick predictions. I feel like I said one of mine, which of course is that that Caleb is not going to like a pageant Hannah and end up causing more of a split. I don't want to even say a split because I like them together, but there's going to be more tension between them. And also Toby and Spencer, I feel like a split is
my
imminent.
gosh, that was my prediction.
Yeah.
I think that Toby and Spencer, done.
Next
semester or next season. I can't say episodes.
Yeah.
Today. Next episode.
Yeah, I just feel like she's gonna want to explore Johnny or other new guys. I think she is over being with the police officer.
I also agree. I think that relationship is pretty much done.
Yeah.
I have this feeling Mike is going down this dark, deep path that he has no idea and just getting sucked into it. And he's just, I feel like, going to be very, very dark in the next few episodes, and Aria's just going to lose control of the whole situation. She's going to have no control over what he does.
Interesting. And do you think he's gonna really go like full out of control? Are we gonna see him
Beast mode.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it. I mean, I feel like just the way he is talking to Aria, I feel like he's already like bound to go that direction. Just the way he talks to her lately.
He says like I'm not gonna listen to what people want me to do anymore, and like it seems like someone's been telling him what to do. So maybe it was Mona, maybe it was.
And someone tweeted, could he end up in Radley?
Everyone else does.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mike's taking some steroids. He's gonna snap soon.
That's what I said. I said drugs, and then Emily said drugs.
He did not like that. Cody Christian was not a fan.
No, he's not on drugs.
Maybe he is then. But I do agree with the Toby and Spencer breaking up. But I still think she's going to cheat on him. I think it's going to be with Johnny, and I think that's going to happen before they break up. Because I
hope she does.
Johnny can't. He's having a hard time with the boundaries. And
I hope she doesn't cheat.
I did like that too, where he was like he's working on boundaries, and I was like, I know how that feels.
And then what was the other one that he said? Oh, when she was like, you can't love something if you're bad at, and he's like, I find a way to make it work, or something like that. I was like, oh. Okay, but anyways, aside from that, I also, and this is like a long-term kind of prediction for this season, because they are approaching getting out of school, and I feel like especially, oh my god, I just spit on the microphone if anybody saw that. Sorry for whoever has to use it next. But I felt like a lot in this episode they were addressing the school issues, and I feel like they're setting up for none of them to be able to go to school. I feel like A is demolishing their chances of being able to go out of state for school. Like Hannah can't afford to go anywhere clearly out of state if it's only $10,000, whatever, a year or whatnot. And then Spencer with those issues of not even wanting to go to school, and Aria and Ezra having their issues with her going to school, and Emily, well, whoever knows.
Yeah, she doesn't really talk. We don't have to
We haven't talked about her school stuff. So I think that's setting up. And then I feel like I had another one. Oh, I think Toby's still involved. And I think we'll see that next week a little bit.
I think that they don't want to go down the cliche path of like everybody goes to Rosewood College.
I don't think so too, but I feel like that's what they're setting up right now.
Yeah.
Well, we know we have at least 2 more seasons. So how does that happen then?
Exactly, if they all go away.
Yeah, they can't like call each other on the phone and like that would be so weird and kind of ruin the dynamic of the show.
Yeah.
So they have to keep them together in some capacity.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. So much more of season 5 to come. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us. We will be back next week with episode 20 and I'm sure so much more drama. You can find AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, and you can find me at Stephanie Wenger.
You can find me on Twitter at Kristin Strange and on Instagram at Kristin Aubrey Strange.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Hotshot Dude.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.